Hello! Welcome to my channel. My name is Amy Prokopis. I am the author of the young adult novel, The Arena, which is science fiction. It is here below. I also have an urban fantasy book coming out in October, so make sure that you follow along for updates about that. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sad. So I just recorded this entire June wrap-up video and it didn't record. So this is round 2. Also, look how cute this shirt is. I found this on Instagram. This is off of Inkwell Press, I think they create book t-shirts and products like that. So amazing. I love it. So anyway, the month of June was really busy for me. I didn't even realize how busy until I recorded that first video, and then I started looking through my planner dashboard. So we will, let's start with some of the things that trickled in from May. So in May, I set myself some social media goals, which were super successful. In May, if you remember from that video, I started posting to my TikTok once a day, and I grew my TikTok from like 35 followers to almost like a couple hundred. It was insane. And I had like thousands of views on a couple of my videos. It was crazy. So I continued that into June, and I went up to 500 followers. And as of today, I'm closer to 600. So that's by the end of June. So last week I had 500. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, because I did my giveaway. And right now, as I'm filming this video at the end of June, I am just about at 600 followers. So it's been crazy, and I'm so glad that I did that. I actually upped the amount of times I was posting. So in May, I was posting once a day, and I kept that as a goal. But on average, through June, I have been posting 3 times a day, which was great because it increased my follower count, and I also connected with more readers and writers, which was super, super fun. Because I feel like I have my own community now, not just of like a readership, but also like coworkers. They're people that are writing some of the same things I am, so I've learned a lot from them, and I've featured a lot of them on my YouTube series, Wednesdays with Writers. If you haven't been watching that, you should. It's been super, super fun. I've learned a lot from the people I've featured on there. Today, actually, I just talked to the author of The Sneaky Lass and Feathers at Sea. Her book comes out this week, and she's a bestseller, and she doesn't even have any books out yet because she posted a TikTok that went viral about a mom that was mean to her and said that she would probably only sell 40 copies total of her book, and she had already had 39, I think, pre-orders. And so she was telling TikTok about it and asking people to go and please get her to at least 41 so she can prove that mom wrong. And she said yesterday, when I talked with her, she said she was up to 900 pre-orders. Can you imagine? I wish my book would do that. So TikTok, like doing my posting and my social media goals, continuing that from May, has grown my following and my confidence. It's grown my connections and my knowledge of like the entire publishing world a ton, just because I've connected with people online. So that has been amazing. So that's all of the stuff that trickled in from May to June that I've been doing throughout June. There were some big events in June. One I just thought about that I didn't even include when I first recorded this video. So firstly, I had my 28th birthday. I was born June 17th, and we had our 5-year marriage anniversary. We got married on June 16th, 5 years ago. We've been together 6 years, but it was our 5th marriage anniversary. My husband's birthday is July 18th, so we lined all the days up so that we could remember it a little easier. And for July, we're planning we're kind of like calling it honeymoon round 2. We eloped, and the summer after we eloped, we went on a trip to Vegas and we called it our honeymoon because it was the first vacation, like big vacation, that we took together. So we are kind of like not really recreating it, but we're going to Vegas again for our 5 year. So it's honeymoon round 2. So those two, my birthday and our anniversary happened all this month, which was like huge. That's what these flowers are from. They're from my birthday. I also had chocolate and we ate it all in one day. But that was all in June. I also went and saw Jesse McCartney in June with a friend in Oklahoma City, and I lost my mind. Oh my gosh. I felt like a teenager again, and it was so much fun. So those were some other like events from June. So we've talked about things that trickled in from May, and we talked about big events in June. We haven't talked about SMART goals, but I didn't actually set any SMART goals for this month because I had so much overlap from May, and I was doing so many little projects. So I had Wednesdays with Writers, which largely kind of crossed over with my social media campaigns that I was trying to grow, because I found a lot of my guests from those places, and so I think the two kind of go hand in hand. So I was working on that, finishing up editing stuff for Guardians of the Six Gates, which we'll talk more about in just a second, and prepping for Camp NaNoWriMo July, which starts next week. So there have been a lot of like things kind of ebbing and flowing, so I didn't set big SMART goals because I had a bunch of little goals already, and those SMART goals are kind of designed to reach like big goals. So I didn't set any for this month. I just wanted to focus on those little projects and my 3 things I do for myself. So if you've never seen one of these videos, there are 3 things I try to do, not every week. I like to if I can do them every week, but there are 3 things that I try to do fairly consistently that are just for me, for nobody else but me. They're either like stress relief or keeping myself healthy, or for like my mental health. Those are my 3 things. So those 3 things are reading, running, and writing. So let's get into the 3, like what I accomplished within those 3 areas. So I'm going to just go down the list from my monthly dashboard from my planner. I'm a happy planner user. I love them. I love like the design of them, but also they all like, they're just really functional for me. They work for me and my ADHD brain. So we're going to just go down the list of my 3 areas: read, write, and run. The first area at the top here is running. So let's talk about that. I didn't really do a lot of running this month, mostly because I was doing all those small projects that I just talked about. But as like events happened in the US and my mental health went a ton, I incorporated it back in. I made more space for it with my writing schedule. I adjusted some things so I could run, because running is a huge part of maintaining my mental health. I've been really open about that, so you guys know that I have generalized anxiety. I have an anxiety disorder. I see a therapist regularly to help me with this, and I also take medication. So when things started to go, I know that something that helps a lot, and as a school counselor myself, something that helps a lot of people when they're feeling a little low is to get outside. One, like at all, get outside, but also to do some movement. So for me, that's running. So I did incorporate running again, and by the end of June, I ran 20.5 miles. So I'm getting back into it. I said in a couple months ago in one of these videos that I wanted to run a full marathon, and I do, but I don't think that's going to happen. And I've sort of, as I've reassessed my goals, like my life goals and stuff, and where writing's gone, I've kind of let that goal become, it's still there, but it's sort of slipped down on my level of importance. So I'm not planning to run a full marathon this year because I want to ensure that I can do more writing than I did last year. So I'm making adjustments, but I do plan on running a local half marathon because it benefits public education. So I want to contribute to that. And it's also super early in the fall. So I have started back into my running routine, but I'm also on a half marathon training plan. So I ran 20 and a half miles, and part of those were part of that training plan to get to 13.1 by September. So I did that, and I'm super happy I was able to reincorporate running into my schedule. So the next bullet point of my areas, I did running, which is up here in gray. Number 2 is writing. So let's talk about writing because that was super successful. I was able to do all of my author business and my writing as if I was a full-time author, and I have been living the dream. You guys know that being a full-time author has always been plan A, but it's not the kind of job that you create a resume and just go get. It's it's a little bit more difficult than that. There's a lot of really successful authors out there that are just breaking even, and you'd never know because they're so successful. But that's just the world of art and creativity and creating anything in our world. But that's always been the dream. So being able to do that full time in my schedule this summer has been everything I've ever wanted. And it's only put wind in my sails. So I feel super encouraged to reach that now that I've had a taste of it. And so I've been working really hard, especially through June. So this month, what I did, this month I did my own edits again of Guardians of the Sixth Gate. So it was in draft 2. I copyrighted it with the US Copyright Agency. I did my title reveal on social media. I revealed the title as Guardians of the Sixth Gate. And then a couple weeks later, I revealed the blurb. I told you guys everything that it was all about. You can find both of those on my website and on my social media. But there's a location in my website. If you click on the book, there's an entire blog post just for Guardians of the Sixth Gate where I have been posting updates about the book. I did my title reveal, something that's not included on this because I forgot. I also revealed that the book will be published in October 31st, Halloween. I love Halloween. It's by far my favorite holiday. I also put the drafts that I edited, I sent it out to beta readers, and by the end of June, by now, I was able to do all of the edits I got from my beta readers. So I've technically edited the book twice this month. So in July, I will start working with my professional editor. I've already hired one. She's going to start the second week, I think, of July. So hopefully I'll have all of that finished, and I'll do my last round of edits the end of July, and then we'll be working on a cover because I want to have a cover early in the fall, and I want to set up pre-orders a couple months out. That's something I did not get to do with the Arena. I had intended to, but the snafu with the original cover and then needing to get this cover meant that I didn't have a finalized project to put out to do pre-orders on. So I want to have a couple months of pre-orders available to all of you guys. So I want all of that up and ready for you for the fall. That way I can really push it and promote it and not have to worry about doing all of the final details and stuff on the book. So I want to have fun with it. So that's the goal for Guardians of the Sixth Gate moving forward. And those are all the things I accomplished in June for it. It was so cool. Something that I also did for writing this month that I don't normally do, I did a lot of prep work for July. So you guys know in these videos that I don't really set, or at least I'll give you guys some of my hopes for the next month, but I don't do a ton of planning for sure until the month has actually really started. The first of the month I sit down and I do more intentional planning than the end of the last month. But this month, because I'm going to be out of town and I'm doing Camp NaNoWriMo all of July, I've had to be more intentional with my planning. I did an entire video that I put out early this week about planning for Camp NaNoWriMo. I planned the whole month, and then I made like a plan for like each individual day. And I did that because I'm going on 2 vacations. So I already said we're going on our like honeymoon round 2 in Vegas, but I'm also going with my family to Colorado in July for part of a week. My sister and I are going up separately with my son. So we're making kind of a girls' trip out of it. My husband's staying here to work and take care of everything else here. So I've had to be super structured with my time for July. So I did do a bit of planning. So I did planning for NaNoWriMo for my writing goals for next month. And my goal is 50,000 words. I think that my project will be quite a bit longer than that. I am working on the sequel to Guardians of the Sixth Gate. I'm trying to draft it for those of you that were curious. And my goal is for NaNoWriMo is 50K, but my personal goal is to get as close to finishing with the entire first draft of the book as I can by the end of July. So that's what I'm working on writing wise for next month. So there is kind of a writing plan already in place for my goals for the month. So yeah, that's pretty much writing. Writing was super great this month. I am super pleased with how that went. So this is the third area, the final one. We did running, we did writing, and now we're down here to the blue, which is all of my reading goals. So wow, I read, as you can kind of tell, I read a ton of books this month. Whoa, most of them were in the form of audiobooks, but I was able to read so many, and I don't really know how because I was so busy writing. I don't know how I found the time to do that, but I did. So I'm going to tell you about the ones that I read because there's one on this list that I adore, and I've connected with the author, and she's super, super nice, and we've had really nice conversations. So I read Malibu Rising early in June. I've wanted to get around to that book since it came out. I think it was last summer, and I just didn't get around to it, and I've been saving it for the summer because I know it's kind of a beachy summer read. It follows this family and like all the siblings within it. It was really good. So I read that, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also read Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon, which was really cute, super fun. And I read Finley Donovan is Killing It. That book cracked me up. That's another one I did by audiobook. So Finley is an author and she's between projects. She's trying to hit deadlines. She's struggling with a book, but she also needs like a good advance. So money, she needs a good advance from this book, and she's stressing out a little bit. And she is out in public. I think she's out writing in public, and this woman approaches her and gives her cash. And it turns out that she assumes that Finley is the woman she hired as a hitman to kill her husband. Finley's not, but she ends up getting wrapped up in this whole like mystery plot full of like hitmen and these really influential like bad guys, and it's really funny. So that was fun. Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Kazimand. I also read by audiobook. I listened to Meet Me in the Margins by Melissa Ferguson. It is a romance that takes place in a publishing house. This girl is an editor there. She hasn't been there very long, but she is an aspiring author and she wants to write romance. But at her publishing house, romance is looked down on as not being like serious enough. And so her publishing house doesn't really like to publish it, but she wants it to be published by that house. And while she's working there, the son of the publishing house owner starts working there also. And there's like a romance that kind of blossoms, and it was really cute. It was a fun one to listen to. So there was that, and the book that I adored, and I've talked to the author a couple times. That book is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. I loved this book. It was the fluffy, cute romance adventure that I needed exactly when I read it. It was wonderful. It takes place in England. It's about this Cuban girl from who lives in Miami. She's a baker. She is planning to take over. She's just graduated from high school, and she's planning to take over the family business with her sister, this bakery that her grandmother had. And unfortunately, a couple months before her grandmother passed away tragically, her boyfriend that she had been with a very long time also broke up with her. And her family are so concerned about how like depressed and heartbroken she is that they send her abroad to England to go live with another family member. And while she's there, she's really resistant to like partake in any part of the English culture. But she soon finds herself kind of swept away by a boy that lives there, and there's this cute romance, all with like this English countryside backdrop. And it's all about finding yourself. I mean, it's all of your usual like YA romantic coming of age like tropes, but oh my gosh, the way that the author writes it is amazing. Some of her descriptions are perfect. She is so good. I cannot wait. She has a companion novel coming out in the fall that goes along with this one. I'm dying to get my hands on it. And I've talked with her a couple of times through Instagram because I keep posting and telling my friends about this book like crazy. And she's been so nice. So go and follow her. If you don't, I would love to have her on my YouTube series. Maybe I'll reach out to her. Who knows? Never hurts to ask, right? But that's how reading went. I can't believe I read that many. I do not anticipate reading nearly that many books in July, but we'll see. So that pretty much wraps up the month. June was so successful. I'm so blown away. It has been a dream come true. This is exactly what I wanted to be doing full time since I was a little girl. So it's been a dream. Oh my gosh. I'm sad that summer's coming to a close and the YouTube series is gonna have to end. I'm not sure how I could do that through the fall. I have some ideas to maybe do like a fall themed or something and then a Christmas themed, just so I can do it in like spurts and pre-record everything. I don't know, we'll see. I might look at planning that closer to end of July. We'll see. But that was it. Thank you guys so much for all of you that have followed me in these videos and watched the rest of my journey along the way. If you don't, make sure that you subscribe because I post monthly videos like this every single month, but also I will be posting a weekly update about Camp NaNoWriMo July. So you can find the weekly updates here on my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on social media also. That's in the description box because on TikTok especially, I'm going to be posting daily for Camp NaNoWriMo, so you can find out how I'm doing daily on there. YouTube will be weekly, and I also will have podcast episodes coming out throughout July. That'll be here on YouTube. So make sure that you're following, guys, and thank you so much. Leave me a like if you found this was fun at all. Maybe it's not fun, I don't know, but it helps me out a lot. So thank you guys for following me along this journey, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.